Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL F2WBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2001, and more importantly, we are booking the Invasion. We are on our second Monday Night Raw, but before we get to Raw, I have one quick thing, as per usual, I want to say, but this one I really do promise is quick. I just want to give a shout out to one of my best friends, my boy, Chris Omega. You guys may know him as that as well from my old WWE Universe playthroughs. Chris Omega, he helps me book Monday Night Raws, and without him, I mean, I'd still get to booking it, but without him, I mean, it's a lot more enjoyable with him, and he helps me book these Raws, so I had to give him a little bit of a shout out because this isn't just all my doing. This is both of ours. We talk to each other. We come up. I ask him for advice. He gives me, oh, why don't you do this? And 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, I don't really know. I usually am like, yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Or he gives me an idea, and then I start to take it in my own direction, and I'm like, there you go, thanks, man. That's all I really needed. And he helps me book these shows, and I just had to give him a quick shout out. So shout out to Chris Omega. Thanks, buddy. That's really all I've got to say. We're booking the show, and let's just go into it. We have a total of 4 pre-show bouts today. And our first pre-show match is a bout that had some decent wrestling, but not much weighing heat. The team of Sean O'Haire and Chuck Palumbo defeating Al Snow and Steve Blackman, better known as Head Cheese to some of my fans out there, or I guess any wrestling fan out there. If you don't know who Head Cheese is, I'm sorry, because what a great angle that was back in the day. It's stupid, but man, it was fun back, when I was a kid. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Either way, this is actually for the WCW World Tag Team titles. I figured, why the hell not? This is a pre-show. Get him some defenses. So we had Chuck Palumbo defeat Al Snow. He defeated him with the submission, and it was the torture rack. Stacy doing good work as always, and interesting enough here, Sean O'Haire and Palumbo on par with Al Snow in the in-ring performance factory. Blackman, on the other hand, not so much. So no work improvements. We move on to our next show. Wow. This got a B-. That's awesome. And a match that got a B- that really could have been on the main show, but we're holding DDP off for now. I've got some plans. He's not debuting yet, but I just want to give him some momentum. So we have a decent pre-show match. DDP defeating Jeff Hardy with the Diamond Cutter. Diamond Dallas Page got a ring performance of a B, but more importantly, Jeff Hardy with a B-, and he's only 23 years old. That's pretty cool. No worker improvements. That's a really good match. I don't think any other pre-show match is going to top that. We go on to a C, which that's actually a little surprising to me. And a poor pre-show match. Eddie Guerrero and Chyna, Latino Heat. Not that we're bringing that back or anything. I just figured why the hell not. Eddie Guerrero and Chyna defeating K-Quick and Jacqueline when Eddie defeated K-Quick with the Frog Splash. In terms of in-ring work, Eddie Guerrero was head over shoulders above everyone else. I mean, I'd hope. So Eddie came out of the match looking good. That's awesome. Jackie got a D+. K-Quick with a D. It's not good when Chyna has a C and Jackie has a D+, and K-Quick, you're only at a D. That's pretty bad, buddy. And Eddie, of course, with a B-, and we got the storyline to move on, so there's that. Jackie's improving in performance, and Chyna's improving in technical, so that's pretty awesome. Moving on to our... Oh, hold on. Yeah, we can handle this change, and it's just a gimmick change. He currently has no gimmick. We're going to switch him over to an obnoxious gimmick. And he's got an initial rating of great. Awesome. And he's actually going to debut that on the main show, so cool. And moving on. Okay, I'm not too mad now because that Jeff Hardy DDP match was a B- as well. Even though the pre-show doesn't really matter, but the fact that I was like, oh no, I could have made this the main event of the pre-show. But either way, in a pre-show bout that had good wrestling and decent in-ring action, or decent reaction from the crowd, I should say. Edge and Christian defeated the Acolyte Protection Agency, or just the APA for short, when Edge defeated Farouk with a missile dropkick. Christian, still not suited for his gimmick, but we can't really change it. Christian and Edge, of course, having excellent ring chemistry together. And Edge and Christian with an in-ring performance of an A? Hell yes. Bradshaw and Farouk with a B-. No worker improvements, though. So we're going to move on to the main show now. The show starts with a B rating, as Shane McMahon, along with some WCW guys, are in the ring to open up the show. Of course, Shane being accompanied by Booker T, the world champion as always, but this time with Lance Storm, Canyon, and Mark Jindrak. And interesting enough, real quick, you guys are going to see a little bit of an angle segment here. Just ignore it because I want to go over the locker room incidents. I forgot to do this earlier, but there's a reason why I want to go over it right here too. So first off, Bradshaw was brought to the locker room court for apparently not going out with the boys. So Rock found him guilty, and he was sentenced to buy drinks for everybody. That one's a little stupid, if you ask me. I mean, come on, Bradshaw could have been tired, maybe just wasn't feeling too good. Not to go out with the boys, that's retarded. But the interesting one here, Undertaker, and we all know who the Undertaker is, I think, has taken Mark Jindrak under his wing as his protege. And Mark Jindrak is this young man here. I can't click on him, unfortunately. So, there you go. Either way, we have Shane coming out with Booker T, Lance Storm, Canyon, and Mark Jindrak, who I have made a team, Canyon and Mark Jindrak. And Shane grabs the mic and he says, "There will be no Monday Night Raw tonight until my father meets me in the middle of this ring and makes a deal with me. So, Dad, you only got 2 hours to work with, so let's make this quick." Of course, Shane and company wait a little bit. I'd imagine, Vince not really going to just walk out there and meet Shane. I mean, you're a WCW guy. You have no room to demand me to do anything. Shane begins to get a little impatient here. He says, "Okay, you know what, Dad? If you're not going to take me seriously, and since you think this is a big joke, and that you and your guys can lay their hands on my guys whenever they want, then turnabout's fair game. Boys, go get me JR." Of course, right when he says that, Canyon and Mark Jindrak get out of the ring and they go grab JR. I'd imagine Paul Heyman sitting there screaming, "I'm just an announcer! I'm just an announcer, please! I'm just an announcer!" Doing the whole "don't beat me up" on Paul Heyman. They grab Jim Ross, they throw him into the ring, and I'd imagine Shane now has a chair, and he just says, "I'm going to crush Jim Ross's windpipes right here on live TV. The voice of the WWF is not going to have a voice anymore unless my father meets my demands." The reason I chose Jim Ross was mainly for that reason alone. Oops. So then out comes Vince and he says, Shane, stop. Don't do it." He struts his way down to the ring along with William Regal, and he says, "What the hell do you want?" Shane simply replies, "I want a WWF title shot." Vince laughs a little bit and then he says, "There's no way in hell I'd let that happen." And then we have to go to here because unfortunately I was not able to finish it. And we have Shane. He says, "All right, Dad, let me rephrase that. You see, I knew you'd be stubborn and you wouldn't give us a shot at the WWF World Championship. But that's not what I'm asking for. You see, Dad, I'm willing to offer you a shot at the WCW World title at Judgment Day, as long as you, in return, give us a shot at any WWF championship of your choosing, of course." Vince, of course, starts thinking. He goes over the Regal. "What do you think?" Blah, blah, blah. They go back and forth and think, and then Vince finally turns around and he goes, "All right, Shane." Excuse me, this Vince McMahon voice sucks sometimes. "You're on. On SmackDown, we will find out who will face your champion at Judgment Day when The Rock battles Chris Jericho and The Big Show in a triple threat match for the #1 contendership. As well on SmackDown, you'll get your shot for the European Championship. See you Thursday, Shano." And then Vincent just, walks to the back while by now I'd imagine Shane let go of Jim Ross and Jim Ross is back at the announcing table. Basically, the whole segment here, Shane wants a title shot. He knew his dad wouldn't give him a WWF World title shot, so he says, "Give us any title shot and I'll give you a world title shot." May seem stupid, but Shane might have something up his sleeve. So we now know at SmackDown, though, on SmackDown, we'll get to that in a second, but at SmackDown we're going to have 2 matches already confirmed. Apparently this deserved better announcing, and it deserved better announcing, but the color commentary gave it a boost, I guess. Angle got the show off to a strong start, also got the crowd hotter, and Ross performed poorly, unfortunately. Lance Storm is improving in acting. That's the first time I think anyone's ever used that phrase. So the announcers do indeed put over that not later on, excuse me. This Thursday on Friday Night SmackDown, The Rock, Chris Jericho, and The Big Show battle in a number one contendership to determine who will face Booker T at Judgment Day for the WCW World Championship. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. Let's do some pre-booking here. Let's go ahead and do SmackDown. Book match, 3-way. And it'll be Chris Jericho versus Big Show versus The Rock. And there we go. Let's do auto name. Hold on. Auto name. Excuse me. What the heck? There we go. Number one contendership for WCW World title. All right. And then the announcers go on to put over that we will be seeing Matt Hardy defend his European Championship against a WCW guy at on Thursday Night SmackDown. So just them putting over some stuff. And I imagine this is leading into our commercial break after this, so we go to a C- as the Right to Censor are wandering around backstage. They're looking for trouble, as per usual, when they come across the Dudley Boyz. Bubba Ray, Devon, and Spike. Richards and company approach the Dudleys, and Richards says, well, if it isn't those darn Dudleys. Bubba then responds, what do you want, Richards? Didn't Raven teach you a lesson on SmackDown? And then Richard laughs, is that what Raven's telling everybody? Bubba laughs in return, no, I haven't spoke to him. I'm just not blind, I saw him whoop your ass on SmackDown. And Richards laughs again, he says, see, that's what's wrong with you Dudleys, you don't care. Instead of just using the word but, you have to say, I'm not going to sink to your level. But you three better start thinking about the example you set for the children. How many kids do you think are in the hospital for jumping through tables? Just like you guys. Bubba then responds, I don't know, but I'll let you know who I think's going to end up in the hospital if he doesn't get out of my face. And that's going to be you. In fact, I'll make you a deal, Stevie. If you three can beat us three in a tables match, that'll be the last tables match you ever see the Dudleys in. Richards then goes, well, you're on. And Steven Richards is getting better as his gimmick as well. That's pretty cool. So moving on, we go to our opening match of the night. Got us a C-, and about that had decent wrestling, but, not much Wayne heat. The Dudley Boyz, Spike Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley, and Devon Dudley defeating Stevie Richards, the Good Father, and Val Venus of the Right to Censor when Spike put Richards through the table. So this was our mayhem match of the night. Bubba was held back, unfortunately. The overbooking didn't sit well with the crowd. It tells me I need a mayhem match every week, but it says it doesn't sit well with the crowd, but whatever. And everybody here's got about a C- except for Bubba. Val, Goodfather, Stevie Richards, Spike, and, Devon and Bubba have C+. But either way, and we are going to make a storyline out of this just so we know. Bubba's improving in Rumble, and Spike's improving in performance. So moving on after this, we go to a C rating, and this is what really is going to start the feud between the Right to Censors and the Dudley Boyz. Credit to Chris Omega here, especially. He's the one that came up with this idea, and I was like, I'm going to do it. So the match is over. Dudley Boyz are standing tall until Ivory gets in the ring. She begins to scream at the three brothers like, how dare you put Stevie Richards through a table? What kind of example are you setting? Blah, blah, blah. Typical Right to Censor gibberish. And then she slaps all three of them. Just whoosh. I'd imagine maybe just starting with Spike and going boom, 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 right across all their faces. That'd be neat. She begins to walk away, but Devon grabs a handful of her hair, and then Bubba pushes Spike's and he yells, Spike, get the tables! And then Spike grabs the tables, he sets them up. Once set up, Devon and Spike hand Bubba Ivory while Bubba sits on top of the turnbuckle, and Bubba does his traditional spot, the Bubba Bomb or the Power Bomb. Maybe that's not the Bubba Bomb. I always thought it was. Either way, he does that Power Bomb through the table with Ivory in hands, pretty much putting Ivory through the table. That classic spot he used to do. And this is what's really going to start this feud between the two teams. We then go to a C rating, As we have a backstage problem here. Oops. Mick Foley, he's backstage in his office when all of a sudden Jerry Lynn walks in, and Foley says, "What can I do for you, Jerry?" Lynn says, "Look, Foley, we both know that X-Pac suffered an injury on SmackDown will keep him out of action for 6 months. And we both know that he vacated the championships. He was forced to vacate the title because of that. So I feel I should be given the light heavyweight championship since I was the former champion." And Mick kind of looks at him confusingly and says, "No, Jerry, I just can't give you the light heavyweight championship. You lost it. And you need to earn it if you want it." And then in walks Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie and Dean both airing their frustrations. "I should get a light heavyweight championship. No, Holmes, I should get it." Everyone's arguing back and forth. And then out of nowhere, Kai and Tai appear. Taka Michinoku and... Did I not put Funaki in this? I guess I didn't put Funaki in this. My bad. Funaki was supposed to be here, but Taka and Funaki are backstage, and how the hell does it say Kai and Tai? I didn't type that in, so... Maybe he's just not on screen, and I forgot to do that. Kai and Tai is in there, and now... it says right here that Taka had major problems due to the language barrier, but I'd imagine it more being like the WWE used to do with those English voices every time they talked. But, I don't know, call it what you want. Might be a little racist, but I got a kick out of it as a kid, and I thought it was hilarious because you could clearly tell it wasn't their voice, and it reminded me of all the Japanese cartoons that you'd watch. Either way, I'm not trying to explain myself. All the men are arguing backstage when Foley finally tells them all to shut up, and he says, "You're right, the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship is currently vacated, but I'm not just about to hand it to any of you. If you guys want this championship, then I'm going to make an 8-man tourney for the Light Heavyweight Championship starting tonight. We'll have 2 matches tonight, 2 matches on SmackDown, and then we'll have the round 2 next week, leading into our pay-per-view, which will decide who the new Light Heavyweight Champion is. Have a nice day, gentlemen." And then in walk Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit as they're bickering with each other as they walk in, and Foley goes, "Oh Lord, what do you two want? Do you want in that lightweight tournament too?" And we're going to move on, don't worry. So Taka had some problems, unfortunately. Foley was a real star in this segment. Jerry Lynn performed a little poorly. Malenko, a little underwhelming here. Taka didn't really come out looking too good, but Angle and Benoit were great, apparently. And, yeah, I don't know how they were great. They were just, "Hi, I'm here." We're moving on to the next segment, though. Eddie Guerrero's developing better performance skills. We move on. Who has to turn? Oh, so I know this isn't going to go over well. I just want to make... Okay, first off, we have a gimmick change. So let's change Dean Malenko to his new gimmick, which is a machine. And he got a below average, which is okay. So there's that. All right. So we then go on to our next segment, which gets a B+, and this leads in from the last segment, which has Benoit and Angle in there. They're both backstage, and they're both airing their complaints. When all of a sudden, in walks Triple H, and he says, "Foley, do you think this is a game?" Foley chuckles, and he says, "Well, considering you call yourself the game, I kind of do." And then Angle goes, "Hey, look here, Triple H. I was here first, telling Foley here that he better fire Chris Benoit since he put his nose in my business on SmackDown last week." And then Benoit goes, "Fire me? If I'm correct, didn't you get involved in my match against Eddie Guerrero on Raw last week?" And then Angle goes, "That's not the point." And then all 3 men begin to argue again. Benoit, Angle, Triple H, all going back and forth until Foley shouts, "Quiet! You know what? Angle, Benoit, despite both of your interferences, there's no denying you both have been impressive as of late. So as of tonight, right here in Boston, Massachusetts, I'm booking in our main event a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Have a nice day, gentlemen." I'd imagine Triple H is just like, "Are you kidding me?" Blah, blah, blah. All of them bicker on their way out while Triple H probably says, "You're going to pay for this." I don't know. And Foley just kind of, rubbing his head like, "Oy vey." Stephanie and Triple H, of course, with their chemistry. Heyman was a little weak on that commentary. Segment apparently deserved better color commentary. You're not even supposed to be talking, but whatever. Got the crowd hotter. Benoit was very underwhelming, unfortunately. Triple H looked good. And apparently Chris Benoit foreshadowed a heel turn in this segment. I don't remember putting that on there, but okay. And then we go to our first match in the WWF Light Heavyweight Tournament. I didn't add anybody really into the storyline yet, except for a couple people. Unfortunately, Taka was not one of those people. So in a bout that had subpar wrestling and a little heat, Malenko defeating Taka Michinoku with the Texas Cloverleaf. He got a performance of a C+, while Taka was at a D+. And Malenko, of course, moving on into the tourney. Did I forget? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, here we got Dirt Sheet. I forgot. A well-executed squash. Low momentum, poor momentum. Okay. So either way, I did turn a Dirt Sheet on. I totally forgot to check those. Oh boy, we go to an A-star segment here, Nerds and Geeks. You'd love to see those A-stars. My second one. Awesome. Taker's great. So Austin, he makes his way down to the ring. He takes the mic, and he goes, "Y'all gonna have to shut your mouth." Oh, that's a horrible Stone Cold. Y'all gonna have to, oh my God, I can't do a Stone Cold. Let's just be real. Y'all gonna have to shut your mouths and sit down and listen, because I've got something important to say. I'd imagine the crowd going, "What?" And then Austin goes, "Don't what me, I what you. You don't what me, I what you." Now last week, the two-man power trip were lied to. We were told the Undertaker wasn't in the arena. But come to the end of the night, my throat is killing me. Come to the end of the night, who comes riding down on his motorcycle? What? Don't what me. And then comes SmackDown. The Undertaker and his burnt brother come down to the ring and decide to talk some garbage when me and Triple H weren't there. And then they go and injure X-Pac. And you still root for them. What? The next sumbitch who what's me is going to get dragged into the ring by their ears and get a mud hole stomped through them courtesy of the Texas Rattlesnake. And then that's when you hear the dong. I'm scared. He's here. Boom, keep rolling. Taker's music hits as he and Kane make their way down to the ring, and Taker wastes no time. He gets in Stone Cold's face and he says, "What?" Austin then backs off. Now we go back to here. We can go ahead and erase all this. And we have another angle. So Austin backs up. I'd imagine he wipes his face. He gets back in Taker's face and he says, "What'd you say?" Taker replies, "I said what? From what I heard, you said the next person who comes out here and says what, that you were going to beat him up. Well, I'm right here, Austin. Are you afraid?" Stone Cold then replies, "Stone Cold ain't afraid of nobody." Then Taker goes, "Then why are you still running your mouth instead of backing it up? That's my problem with you, Austin. You used to be this tough as nails, no nonsense son of a bitch. But now you and Triple H are just Stephanie's bitches. And me and my brother had enough of you running your mouth. And last time I checked, your whipping boy ain't out here. And you are in no position to be talking all this trash. In fact, my brother and I have heard enough." And then that's when the Undertaker swings, and him and Kane start to beat down on the Texas Rattlesnake. Austin, of course, trying to fight back. Not really having much success in it as he's taken on two powerhouses here in the WWF, two monsters. And eventually, it leads to the outside of the ring, where Stone Cold gets a double choke slam through the announce table, courtesy of the Brothers of Destruction. By the way, it says Deborah's not suited to her gimmick. Might have to change that. But the reason why I pointed out Deborah at all is because Deborah is now managing Stone Cold. So there's that. A-star. They're good. I'm happy with this. So moving on to our next segment. I'd imagine we coming back from a commercial break here, and we have another A-star. Back from commercial. Stone Cold comes storming into the locker room where Triple H is getting ready for his title defense, and he says, "Hey, where the hell were you? I thought you had my back, especially when those two gravediggers were out there beating the crap out of me. So where were you?" And Triple H says, Look, I don't know if you saw what happened with Foley,
but he put me in another title match tonight, so I've been preparing for that. Maybe next time you shouldn't go out alone and call out both members of the Brothers of Destruction.
Got to do the correct Triple H accent. Austin says,
well, excuse me for thinking my partner had my back. Speaking of back, mine kind of hurts after what just happened, so as far as your title match looks, it looks like you got your own back tonight, partner.
And then Austin just storms out of the locker room along with Deborah while, Triple H and Stephanie had a great pairing. Austin came all across, well, deserved better color commentary. A-star, great segment. I'm very happy. Triple H developing better performance skills. I didn't even know we had a dirt sheet here. All right, cool. So moving on, we have a C+. This is our second match of the WWF Light Heavyweight Tourney. So Matt Hardy and even Jeff Hardy, he's going to be in the tournament as well. The Hardy Boys are going to be in there. And a decent match, Jerry Lynn defeating Matt Hardy with, god damn it, with a submission, cross arm breaker submission after a distraction from Sean O'Haire, and we also had Chuck Palumbo run and attack Matt. So the way I'd see it happening is Matt's, getting close to winning this match. He's got Lynn looking pretty good. In fact, if we look at our Road Agent notes, I kept Matt strong. I had to keep him strong, but I did keep him strong. And, yeah. So I'd imagine him getting close when the referee and Matt Hardy get a little distracted by Sean O'Haire, who probably when Matt's about to hit a twist of fate. And then Chuck Palumbo comes running in, probably decks Matt with the WCW title. And then Jerry Lynn just crawls over and pins him 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Jerry Lynn moves on in the tournament, and so did Dean Malenko tonight. And I have ew. I got sticky shit in my leg. I'm not going to say what it is. It's nothing gross. Don't want anyone getting an opinion. It's more like jelly or something, but I don't really know what the fuck it is. That's why I said I'm not going to say what it is. Either way, we had the Hardys versus Palumbo and Harris segment moving on, while Matt Hardy is now out of the light heavyweight tournament, while Jerry Lynn is still in it. So Matt got a performance of a B- and Jerry with a C- here, but we got a C+ rating and no worker improvements. Matt Hardy with that star quality and all that good jazz. Look at that. Jerry Lynn, though, low morale. The heck? How is there another plus in between? That should be up here. What are they? Booking decisions. My bad. All right. So moving on to our next segment, we go to an A rating as Vince McMahon alongside with William Regal are backstage in his office when, of course, The Rock, Chris Jericho, and The Big Show, the three men who really have had WWF's back since we started this invasion angle. They come walking in and Vince says,
"Thank you guys for joining me. As you may have heard, you three will be facing off this Thursday on SmackDown for the number one contendership for WCW's world title. But I don't want to create any dissension in the WWF. So tonight, I've allowed Shane to pick 3 superstars from WCW to face you 3 tonight. That way, you 3 don't take your eyes off the bigger picture, that being the WWF destroying the WCW once and for all. So tonight, if you guys lose, then I'll find someone else to represent the WWF at Judgment Day. So good luck tonight."
So, during this whole segment, of course, we see the Jericho-Regal storyline is sticking around. I'd imagine Regal kind of just giving Jericho a dead eye while Jericho kind of giving Regal a dirty look as well. Pretty much the whole segment here is Vince doesn't want, Rock, Jericho, and Big Show. You basically say, let's say Big Show wins this triple threat match on SmackDown. He doesn't want The Rock and Jericho to start getting jealous that, Big Show gets the title shot now, blah, 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 blah. He wants them to pretty much, despite who wins on SmackDown, we need to stay a unit. We can't let WCW split us apart. So that's why tonight I've allowed Shane to pick, 3 superstars, because remember, WCW superstars are not under contract technically. So that's why he said I've allowed Shane, because normally they wouldn't be competing. The only reason they're even allowed here is because technically Shane McMahon does work for WWF, and he's allowed to bring people with him, but they're not allowed to compete. So he allowed him to pick some people, and if they lose, he pretty much says, I'll find someone else to represent me then besides you guys. Because if they can't beat, a WCW team, they shouldn't be even considered for a title match in Vince McMahon's eyes. A segment, not too bad here. Moving on, we then go on to that said six-man title match, six-man tag team match. We get a B- here in a decent match. The Rock, Big Show, and Chris Jericho defeating WCW, which I did make a stable of, by the way. And this one consisting of Canyon, Mike Awesome, and Mark Jindrak. When The Rock defeated Mike Awesome with a pinfall, probably with the rock bottom or something. In terms of in-ring work, The Rock was head over shoulders above everyone else. Unfortunately, Mark Jindrak was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. The main reason why I have put Mark Jindrak in these angles, and I'm going to start trying to push him, is because The Undertaker has taken him under his wing as a protege. And if this was real life, Vince McMahon would totally, take Undertaker's word and try to, get one of Undertaker's guys over. So that's why I'm going to try to get Mark Jindrak over for The Undertaker, basically. And even if we look at the road agent notes here, we had Mark Jindrak get protected, so that way he might look, a little better. So The Rock's performance really stood out. By the way, we did make this our storytelling show of the night. Big Show had a in-ring performance of B, Jericho with a B+, Rock with an A star, unfortunately Jindrak with that D+, and Mike Awesome and Canyon with a C. No worker improvements. Let's check out that dirt sheet. I want to look more. Wow, Canyon. I was looking at Canyon's stats a little bit earlier, and he's pretty impressive, actually. Looking at this, he's got charisma and star quality. Even Mike Awesome. Hell, Mark Jindrak's got star quality. This is great. What of our negatives? People, of course, holding back because it's the storyline a little bit, all that stuff. So, not too bad. I'm actually really happy with this match. Oh, that I'm not happy with. Man. I mean, a B+, don't get me wrong. A B+ is a great rating. But if we look at the road agent notes, I wanted them to steal the show. And I was kind of hoping for an A. Let's be honest. But a B+ still isn't bad. And it might have had something to do with, the distraction of Taker and Kane in this. So we have, in a superb match, Chris Benoit, Nerds and Geeks. Chris Benoit defeating Triple H and Kurt Angle when he made Triple H tap out to a submission after distraction from The Undertaker and Kane. And the way I'd imagine this, I don't even really imagine Kane and Undertaker coming out. I'd imagine the lights going off and then the fire just going off while Triple H is looking for them. And then he turns around to the crippler crossface, and eventually he just has to tap out before Kurt can get in just in time. So there you go. But man, I wish this would have done better. Apparently it did get the crowd buzzing, so I guess that it did accomplish what it needed to. Kurt Angle was off his game, unfortunately. Did I do something that I don't remember? A face turn for Kurt? Maybe I was thinking of a double turn? I don't know. Maybe I'll go with that. I don't remember making Benoit and Angle. Either way, Benoit got a B rating for his in-ring performance. Triple H had an A, and Kurt Angle with a B+. So the worst one actually got the title. But either way, this now gets that title off of Triple H, so I can have something to do, another title another rivalry I can book instead of having numerous ones revolve around the same four men. And it also gives added extra tip for why Benoit and Angle are going to be feuding over the next couple of days and maybe even months. So no worker improvements here. We look at our dirt sheet. Benoit got a bonus for going all out, also with his good gimmick. Triple H had the bonus for going all out. And so did Angle, so it didn't affect anybody, it would seem. Also a bonus for title prestige. Oh, wow, look at that. That's new. If it gets increased by storylines heat. Awesome. That's really awesome, actually. So here we go. See, this doesn't make sense to me. How do you get a bonus for going all out, but then get pressured, get penalized for the pressure of going all out? What? Did everybody get that? No, we got some. Triple H was the only one. Come on, Triple H. You should feel that pressure. So we end the show. Oh, look at this. Chris Benoit. Arn Anderson says Chris Benoit debuted a new Hope spot? What the hell does that mean? A New Hope spot? Okay. A New Hope spot that the crowd got behind him. His psychology will be helped by being able to use that go-to spot in the future. So Benoit basically debuted, I'm sure it's supposed to say hot spot. I don't know if Hope spot even is real. But either way, he debuted, a big move that the crowd like really popped for. So now that's going to become one of like his signatures over the time, and it helped his psychology apparently. And we got a B plus. So apparently we used Spike Dudley far too much on the show, but whatever. And it did increase our popularity in 15. We didn't lose any popularity anywhere. So all in all, not a bad show if you ask me. And we got a new Intercontinental Champion. New champion, Nerds and Geeks. Awesome. And look at this. First number one spot. Hell yes. Look at that. Viewers been awesome. Show's been getting fantastic reviews. Jim Neidhart to New Japan. Just going to quickly go. Oh, what's this? Randy Orton began his first reign as the OVW Hardcore Champion, defeating Mr. Black. Who cares? Let's check out that show. I don't want this to go on too long. In fact, I think I can check how long we've been going. Alright, it's not that bad, actually. So if any of you guys... Oh, look at that. Stevie Ray going to UPW. And Rhino at 100% again. Awesome. So we can start using him. So this is about the end of it. If you guys want to click off, no problem. If you guys want to explore the wrestling world a little bit more with me, go right ahead. So OVW, which is one of our developmental territories. We had Johnny Spade, who I don't know if he's one of our people, defeating Sean Cassie for the light heavyweight title. Sean Cassie is one of our people. Orton defeating Mr. Black for the OV Hardcore title. Of course, Randy Orton's one of our guys. I don't know if Mr. Black is. Rob Conway defeating Flash Flanagan. Not sure if Flash Flanagan is a trainer. I know he's not I know who Flash Flanagan is, so I know he's not a developmental superstar. But I know Rob Conway is, and Nick Dinsmore, better known as Eugene to a lot of people, defeating The Machine, who is one of the Basham brothers. What a cheesy fucking name, The Machine. To retain the OV heavyweight title. By the way, I know we have Brian Cage that goes by The Machine, but at least that's kind of like his gimmick, not his name. That apparently is his name, is The Machine. So Rhino's fully recovered. Al Snow, my momentum is in the toilet. You need to book me stronger for a while or I'll be dead in the water. Okay. So apparently Al Snow is not happy with how we're booking him, so we have to focus on that a little bit more, which we will. Raw got a good rating. Here we have our drug test fees. And here we go. So Kurt Angle says Farouk needs to learn how to sell. He's not worth pushing until that's addressed. Unfortunately, Farouk, you're pretty old, so I don't think I'm going to push you. You're 42, but damn, Kurt. Strong opinions. Arn Anderson says Spike Dudley just doesn't get it, in my opinion. The kid can probably be cut loose. Oh, damn, guys, you guys don't have some high opinions on people. Michael Hayes. I don't think Michael Hayes said this to me before. I think it was Jack Lanza. But either way, he says Sean O'Hare just doesn't get it. The kid can probably be cut loose soon. Damn. And Matt Hardy says the good father can't sell anything worth a damn, in my opinion. He needs to learn how to work. Jeez, man. A lot of people with some heavy opinions on Raw. Lord. So moving on. Oh, no. Oh, this could halt your push right away, buddy. Oh, no. Well, Mark Jindrak has been identified as a steroid user by the WWE drug testing policy. This is done in the house. No, you're suspended. Sorry. Nope, that's the rules. Sorry. Even Taker's not happy with me over that. Look at this. Undertaker. Get out of here, Taylor. Annoyed at my handling of an incident with Mark Jindrak. I'm sorry. That's the rules. This is my rules, at least. Soft drugs? Fine. Hard drugs? Rehab. Even alcohol problems. Rehab. Steroids? Suspension. How it works. Not messing around. Those are my rules. Just sucks for Mark Jindrak. So I think I'm going to go ahead and delete this team, because originally I was going to have them have a match at Judgment Day, but now we're going to go with my original idea of Canyon and Awesome. Damn, Mark Jindrak. Save. Mark Jindrak wasn't happy with me either. Did you see that? Where's he at? Mark Jindrak. Angry at my incident. Look at that. Psh, I don't care, dude. What's his personality like now? It said his personality changed. Behavior. I don't know. Either way, apparently his personality changed, but I don't care, dude. That's the rules. Those are the rules. Chris won't be happy to hear this. He'll be like, dumbass Mark Jindrak. Either way, Nerds and Geeks, that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have. And as always, my name's been OMGWTF, LOL, TWBRB. I'll see you guys for Sunday Night Heat and Thursday Night SmackDown, which will be uploaded together. But until then, have a wonderful day.